Hello everybody, welcome to the short video on sciatica. I say short video because this is an absolutely fascinating subject that I could probably make a lot longer video for. However, all you probably want to know, especially if you're suffering from sciatica, is how you can get on top of some of the symptoms and sensations and feeling pain that maybe you're experiencing as a result of your sciatica. So it's very straightforward. You just need a chair, and let's talk through what that exercise is, and then I'll explain to you a little bit about why I would not recommend stretching for sciatica, particularly if you're in the acute stages of it. So acute stages are that initial onset of the symptoms where they are at their most heightened. So you experience that horrible feeling of low back pain. If it's indeed sciatica related back pain, it can experience that horrible kind of pain, like deep bum pain, glute pain, and obviously sometimes those horrible sensations as well down the back of your leg. I can completely empathize with you if you are that person. I have suffered both back-related sciatica and hip-related sciatica for my sins, and they are both as equally uncomfortable. The only positive thing about hip-related sciatica is you tend to not get so much of the back stuff, but it's different for everybody. That said, let's grab our chairs and take a seat, and let's get on top of this once and for all. So let's take a little look at how we mobilize our sciatic nerve. We're going to come at this as a whole body exercise, as you will see. So we're going to mobilize the nerve from the top to the bottom and from the bottom to the top, and that might come as a surprise, but your sciatic nerve influences or has an influence on your entire nervous system, including all the way up and into your brain, which is how and why you get those feelings of pain and that sensation on your body. So it's really important that we mobilize the entire nerve and not just focus on one part of it. And that is true of all of our nerves and all of our muscles. As you will know, we need to keep everything healthy from top to toe. So that is the purpose of this exercise. Now, sometimes it's called flossing, and you'll see why, because we're trying to essentially, like you would floss your teeth, unstick the nerve, which is somehow, being compressed, it's being tugged, it's being pulled, it's being squashed or pushed on for whatever reason from the back or from the hip. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in the next section, but for now, let's have a little look at what this exercise is. So come to your nice tall seat. You find a comfortable seat. You're not sitting back on the chair, you're sitting up on your sit bones, thinking of a nice relaxed neutral position. And the lovely thing about this exercise is for once in our Pilates lives, we get to slump our posture. So when you think about the slumping part, I want you to think about doing a sort of cat in the chair. So we're not kind of slumping back and losing our sort of spinal alignment. We are thinking of that deep abdominal connection to flex the spine. So again, if you think about drawing the abdominals back and we C-curve and we keep that sort of connection to our center to help us flex the spine so we round it and the eye gaze drops. So just a little heads up there. But we're actually going to start from the foot. So all you're going to do is bring that leg in to a straight line, and then you're going to flex your toes towards you, so you maybe feel a little bit of a sensation down the back of your leg. That's all you're going to do. You're going to bring that foot back towards the floor, and then you're going to slump. So draw the abdominals back, think of that lovely C curve, nice slumped position, shoulders kind of forward a little bit, and then you're going to straighten and lengthen the spine back up, and you're going to repeat. So flex the toes towards your face, foot down, and then you're going to slump back, rounding out that spine, abdominal connection, and then you're going to sit back up. You're going to repeat that, and so forth. And you can kind of speed it up if you want to. Try and make it a little bit more mindful, but thinking of that. And make sure you drop the chin as well to the breastbone, so you're flexing the entire upper back all the way up to the head, so you're getting that flexion from the base of the spine all the way up through the thoracic, the cervical, and the neck and the head. And then you're going to repeat, of course, on the other side. So if I just quickly turn my chair around so you can see, we'll do the left side now. So we flex, draw the toes towards, And then you're going to slump, abdominals, sit back up, restart the spine, flex, slump, and then flex, slump. You can bring a bit of breathing in if you want. We're not stretching the hamstrings here, so it's not about getting that sensation of a stretch in the back of the leg. It's just a gentle toes to face and then a slump forward, okay? So just be mindful of that as well. That's really it for the exercise. The only other things that I wanted to really touch on in the context of sciatica is one, avoiding stretching. And the reason for that is if something is already stuck and everything's tightened down, particularly in the acute stages, that's what happens. You probably experience more tightness in your body as a result of the pain. Often stretching is not the most helpful because your muscles just tighten down anymore. So they're in that state because they've sensed danger, and to protect you, everything tightens up. So if you then start to stretch to release it, actually, if your body doesn't feel safe, your muscles will actually tighten down even more, which creates more irritation of the nerve. So pigeon stretch, I would avoid. I would avoid the figure of four stretch as well. The most important thing is getting the nutrition back into the nerve, so the blood flow, and getting that nerve moving. Nerves like to move, and in actual fact, nerves do not like to be stretched anyway. And there is confusion around, a lot of people will say, oh, just stretch your hamstring. But again, a lot of the tightness that you can feel in your hamstring, particularly when you have sciatica, is not actually the muscle that's tight, it's actually the nerve. So the nerve supplies the blood flow to the muscle. So bear that in mind as well. It's not always about the muscle being tight. It could be more to do with the nerve. So try the mobilisation exercise, try the flossing, and see how you get on. There is no limit to how often you do it. Just give yourself a nice slump. Just be mindful that you don't slump back in the chair. It's that nice Pilates slump. Think of it like that. I hope you find this helpful. Please leave me a comment. If you are somebody that's suffering with back pain or hip pain, or you just want to know a little bit more about maybe sciatica or something else, maybe you're like me, you're in midlife now and you're noticing sort of changes in the joints, or your muscles, or you just feel a little bit different in your body, I would love to know what it is, because you're in a safe community here, and I'm sure I can do something to help, and that would be my privilege to do. So leave a comment or just hit reply to any emails that you get from me, and hopefully I will see you back on your mat soon.